Welcome, class of 2021, family and friends. This is one of my favorite days of the year, when we celebrate our graduates with our traditional hooding ceremony. I know you are disappointed, and so am I, that we are not together in person at this special time. And please know that I'm committed to recognizing your accomplishments at an in-person ceremony when we are permitted to do so. But for today, just as we have adapted our classes, clinics, jobs, and events all year to an online environment, we are reimagining our hooding ceremony in order to mark the moment of your official graduation in the best way we can. We may be connected by screens, but we are still deeply connected. We will honor this moment and allow ourselves to feel the unrestrained happiness that comes with celebrating this milestone with you and your loved ones. To the great class of 2021, I want you to know that I have never been prouder to be dean of this law school, and you are the reason. Your lives and legal educations were disrupted by a global pandemic, but throughout these trying times, you have demonstrated remarkable perseverance and adaptability, which will serve you well in your careers. I am sure this last year of online learning will leave an indelible mark in your memory. But I hope that circumstances alone do not define your experience at Maryland Carey Law. What you did here does, and what you did was exceptional. You survived the first year, putting in staggering amounts of time preparing for class and studying for exams. And you grew into great contributors to the vitality of our academic community. You conscientiously ran our journals, upholding the highest standards of excellence and organizing dynamic and engaging symposia and discussion series. You participated in student associations that deeply enrich our community and have provided connection and support that has never been more needed and appreciated. You fought for the rights of disadvantaged clients in our clinics and helped build the foundation for new projects such as the Chacon Center for Immigrant Justice, which will expand opportunities for future generations of students training for careers in immigration law. You became leaders in the battle for racial justice. You honed your advocacy and mediation skills while pivoting to online formats at local, regional, and national competitions with enormous success. You worked at law firms and for judges, nonprofits, and government agencies, building your skills and professional networks. And yes, you competed with determination against your classmates and yourselves. But at the same time, you lived values that we hold dear. Even as you strove for first place, top ranked, best argument, best brief, you always supported each other, cheering on your peers and their success, and lifting up those who might be in danger of falling behind. That is what makes our community strong. Thank you for entrusting us with your legal education. It has been an honor to spend these years with you. The class of 2021 has made a profound impact on Maryland Carey Law, as I know you will continue to do as lawyers and leaders in the years to come. It is now my privilege to officially welcome you to the Maryland Carey Law alumni family, a network that will support you throughout your career. Congratulations, graduates.
I'm Don Gifford, and it is my privilege, on behalf of all of my colleagues and myself, to extend our heartiest congratulations to all of our graduates. What a time it's been to attend law school. Those of you whom I've taught know that I am a big fan of the common law, that is, judge-made law. You've heard me say that the common law, properly understood, changes to reflect the needs of society. And just as the common law changes, you, today's graduates, changed during your time in law school. We, your professors, knew that you would change. We wanted you to develop a much richer understanding of the law, to appreciate the synergy between change in society and change in the law, to listen to diverse perspectives, and to deepen your understanding of the meaning of justice. But we could never have anticipated how much the world would change during your time in law school and how these changes would affect you. Obviously, the last 15 months of your law school experience were altered by COVID and virtual learning. Yes, there were times when some of us, notably some of your older teachers, fumbled the technical challenges, but we all adjusted. And there were other, more profound changes in the world around you. You entered law school against the memories of the not-too-distant killing of Freddie Gray here in Baltimore. We all watched the emergence of the Black Lives Matter movement, making it impossible for our society to continue to ignore the cries for justice from our African American citizens. We watched two historic impeachment proceedings. We watched with horror the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. And together, most recently, we watched the conviction of the murderer of George Floyd. In short, you attended law school during times more unsettling, more polarizing than any in the history of this institution. And just as the critical needs in our society forced the law to change, to move toward the arc of justice, you as students could not ignore what went on in the world around you. You could not devote your full attention to some of those old chestnut cases from the 19th century, or even the sacred opinions in Palsgraf versus Long Island Railway. But just as societal change helps perfect the common law, the things that happened during your time in law school strengthened you. As much as we despair about many of the things we've witnessed in our country during the past several years, your attending law school during these peculiar times has made you better persons of the law. These events made you realize that our nation is not done changing, and neither are you. In fact, you are just at the start of your growth as a professional. We all strive together to be part of a more perfect union. But now you realize that you too are still striving to become a more perfect advocate for justice. I and my colleagues have been privileged to ride along for this first part of your professional journey. We sincerely thank you for the joy and the meaning that being your teachers has brought us. We look forward to seeing where each of your professional paths takes you. We know in ways that you cannot yet fully appreciate that each of your professional lives will take unexpected twists and turns, just as our nation took unexpected twists and turns during your time in law school. If we've done our job, then those changes in your future will continue to enable you to become a more perfect person of the law. Congratulations again, and welcome as lawyers and other legally educated professionals to new positions of influence in a world of change. Thank you.
Edward Healy is class president in the evening division. During his time in law school, he was president of the Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law Association, a representative on the curriculum committee, and a peer advisor, all while working full-time for the Maryland Stadium Authority. This year, he interned for the Honorable Marcus Z. Shar, class of '76, at the Baltimore City Circuit Court. After graduation, Eddie, who is a Baltimore native, will serve as clerk for the Honorable Nancy Purpura, class of '84, in the Circuit Court for Baltimore County.
There are so many people to thank on this day. Between the school administration, faculty, family, and supportive classmates, we have many people to whom we are indebted. However, there's one group that I think often gets overlooked on graduation day that I wanted to give a special shout out to: the admissions department. I still remember getting the email that I gotten into Maryland, and I still have the acceptance letter that was mailed to me. I wasn't sure if I was going to get into law school, and growing up, I thought law school was really only for two kinds of people. I'm pretty sure I was not: very rich or very smart. Thanks for taking a chance on me and on all of us. We really would not be lawyers without you. To my classmates, the fourth-year evening students. Like Jimmy McNulty in the final scene of The Wire, all the memories from the last 4 years have been coming back to me recently. Sometimes when I think back on our 4 years in law school, it seems like we just got here. Other times, it feels like we've been here far too long. Some great memories come to mind. Our first social gathering at the end of our first week of school. Each celebration at Pickles after the last final of the semester. Cookouts and barristers too. I wanted to share with everyone here today how incredible our evening division graduates are. To highlight this, I put together a few stats about our class I think tell our story best. The first number is 3.2. That is the average number of major life events each member of this class has gone through during law school. We've had 5 weddings, 6 babies, thanks Jad for really padding that stat, and many other job changes, deaths in the family, and other stressful or time-consuming events that can pull us away from our studies. The next number is 4.1. That is the average number of people who rely on the members of our evening class on a daily basis, whether that's significant others, children, elderly family, or coworkers. Getting this degree was not as simple as showing up for class and studying. We had to remain responsible to those who needed us while still holding ourselves accountable to our mission, a law degree. The most important number is 32. In light of all the above, we earned 32 JDs. That is a tribute both to you for being able to handle work, school, all your other commitments, and anything else thrown your way, and to your support systems at home who made these last 4 years possible. To all the graduates, I just wanted to share one piece of advice from my own personal experience during these last 4 years. Growing up, being a basketball player is something that I viewed as a large part of my identity. Shooting a basketball by myself was something I enjoyed the most, and I always felt at home on a court. I did not play in college, and towards the end of my undergraduate days, it hit me that I worked harder and was more energized by high school basketball than any class or area of study I encountered in college. Not exactly a good feeling entering the job market. I worked a handful of different jobs in my 20s, and while some I really enjoyed, nothing still felt as right as shooting a basketball. Then I started law school, and in the fall of my second year, it hit me. I started to plan my study time similarly to how I used to plan a basketball practice as a coach. I began to analyze professors' exam tendencies like an opponent, and I saw the similarities between a trial attorney managing a trial and a basketball coach's game management strategy. When I would be in a room by myself in the law school reading cases, I felt at home. And when I needed a break, I could just walk down to the student center and shoot a basketball. So my one piece of advice to the class of 2021 comes from the 2008 cinematic masterpiece Step Brothers, which is don't lose your dinosaur. For those who haven't seen the film, the father figure gives this advice about his favorite childhood memory, reminding his 2 sons not to forget what made them happy when they were younger as they progress in their careers. I love basketball, but you can't play it forever. But when I could connect how my love for law school resembled my love for basketball, I knew I'd found a career for me. If you're sitting here and aren't sure law school was the right decision for you, or aren't sure what kind of lawyer you want to be, that's okay. Just keep in mind the thing that brought you happiness in your youth, as it just may circle back at some point during your law career and guide your future. So, class of 2021, don't lose your dinosaur.
Rebecca Carlone is class president for the graduating class of students in the Day program. During her time at Maryland Carey Law, she was president of the Moot Court Board, associate editor of the Journal of Race, Religion, Gender, and Class, and an admissions ambassador. She was also a summer law clerk in the Maryland office of the Public Defender, a summer clerk at Brown Law, and research assistant to Mark Graber. Originally from Smithfield, Rhode Island, Rebecca will remain here after graduation as a fellow in our Women, Leadership, and Equality program.
Good morning, and may it please the court. Oh, sorry, I think they put the wrong speech up. Let's try that again. Good morning. Thank you everyone for tuning in this morning. I first want to give a quick shout out to my family, Mom, Dad, Brian. I wouldn't be here without you. Thanks for your unwavering support these past 3 years, but unfortunately, I will still be charging you for legal advice. I next want to acknowledge everyone graduating here today. It is an honor not just to graduate alongside the friends I came in with, but the friends I made along the way. Congratulations to the LLM class, the Master of Science in Law class, the JD Evening program, and finally, my day program cohort. We all took various different paths to get to where we are today, and I look forward to seeing each of the contributions you make, not just to the legal profession, but how you impact other industries with your legal knowledge. I know this isn't exactly how we pictured our graduation to be. We've asked you to make a lot of sacrifices this year, this one perhaps the biggest of all. And while I hope to see you in August for our in-person hooding ceremony, I know it just won't be the same. Our graduating class will be the most resilient and adaptable class to ever come out of the University of Maryland, not just because of enduring the pandemic, but because we attended law school during a time of extraordinary social change in this country. We've gone through quite a bit, but we made it, we're here, and gosh darn it, we deserve to celebrate. It's funny though, because those of us who chose a career in the legal profession were often dissuaded from doing so. You'll hate it, it's miserable. Is it because you're bad at math? And while the last part might be true, I reject the notion that having a career in law is anything but an honor and a privilege. In fact, a statement made during our orientation stuck out to me then and rings true for me now. We were told that being a lawyer is the closest thing you can be to becoming a superhero. A lawyer is the closest thing we can get? Really? But the speaker went on to explain themselves, as lawyers do. Lawyers protect the vulnerable from the powerful. Lawyers think on their feet and react quickly to challenges, and lawyers can even predict the future. So was I totally convinced in that moment? No. You see, like many others, had this image of what a lawyer was in my head. A stern, serious, no-nonsense person who exclusively wore tweed suits with elbow pads. And don't get me wrong, I had a few professors that loved their elbow pads, but other than that, I entirely missed the mark. What I really encountered upon entering law school was the most down-to-earth, compassionate, and funny group of students I have ever met. We became more than just colleagues or classmates. We became friends and chosen family. Law school, of course, is about training to be a legal professional, but it is also about the connections we make, the relationships we cultivate, and what we do for other people. When peers unexpectedly missed class, you sent your notes for the day without them even asking. When admissions was giving tours to admitted students, you graciously stopped to chat with prospective students about the school and answered all of their questions. And when Tom Brady left the Patriots, friends and rivals alike checked in to see how I was handling it. And I think that's what's made going remote for the past year so painful. We missed out on all of those little interactions that alleviated the stress of going through law school. The chats by the lockers, racing each other to lunchtime events to score some free pizza, and my personal favorite, leaving that last exam of this semester to trek to Pickles to celebrate a semester well done. I'm sad we didn't get our Breakfast Club moment at the end of all of this. I envisioned us all marching out together, fists raised high with "Don't You Forget About Me" playing in the background. But as sad as I am equally hopeful because I'm reminded that this is the end of a chapter, but the beginning of a book. We are entering the next phase of our legal careers, and I am honored that as a new alumna of this school, my name will forever be associated with the class of 2021, the most adaptable, resilient, and compassionate group of people I've ever met. I love you all, thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2021. We did it.
The traditional hooding ceremony is a moving, symbolic act dating to medieval times when ceremonial hoods were given to those who were deemed qualified for an academic degree. Over time, graduation hoods took on a color to distinguish the graduate's college and discipline. Purple, the royal color, came to symbolize law. The hoods we confer on our graduates represent the Juris Doctor, the Master of Laws, and the Master of Science in Law degrees. The black and gold inside the hood are the colors of the University of Maryland. Traditionally, Michael Van Alstyne, our Francis King Carey Professor in Business Law and Director of the Business Law Program, announces graduates' names during the hooding ceremony. It is his voice you will now hear as we honor each of our graduates individually in our virtual hooding ceremony.
Under the authority granted by the State of Maryland to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, and by that board and the Chancellor delegated to me, I confer degrees with all rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Dean Tobin, with the recommendation of the faculty of the Carey School of Law, in recognition of their successful completion of all requirements, I am pleased to accept the 2021 candidates, and I confer upon each of you the degree Juris Doctor.
Hello, my name is Michael Van Alstyne. I have the privilege of announcing this year's graduating class. Our first set of graduates are receiving the Juris Doctor degree. Jeffrey Hunter Abney II. Kyria Abreu Jimenez. Sarah Taylor Abu Taleb. Adedeji Ademola. Alexa Pauline Ain. Summer Akhtar. Kevin M. Albano. Delaney E. Anderson. Caitlin Anderson. Nathan T. Arnold. Philip A. Avery, Jr. Kathleen M. Ayuk. Melanie Babb. Pincus Balsam. Alexander Tolman Batten. Edward T. Bellows. Mark C. Bennett. Maria Juliana Bermudez. Zachary Paul Birnbaum. Samuel A. Blotter. Mr. Blotter is also receiving a Master of Business Administration from Johns Hopkins University's Carey School of Business. Samuel Bowden. Dwayne C. Bond, Jr. Marissa Lorraine Eunice Booth. Nicole Marion Bozella. David T. Brownstein. Samantha Breeze. Jocelyn E. Brocato. Rachel C. Brocker. Ignacio A. Brown. Shelby A. Brown. Kevin D. Spooky. Kelly E. Callahan. Elizabeth Cardinali. Rebecca Carlone. Natalie R. Carpenter. Samantha Yingya Chan. Dr. Spriha Chaudhary. Jason A. Christie. Whitney C. Chakwara. Misun Chung. Kristen Taylor Clark. Patrick Clowney, Jr. Jonathan Peter Coos. Rose L. Cowan. Tyler J. Creevy. Andrew M. Curran. Nicholas J. Detweiler. Jennifer L. Deerdorf. Allison J. DeMarco. Sierra R. Dennison. Sherry Deogracias. Augustin Dietrich. Shane Michael Kurtz Doyle. Stephen C. Doyle. Allison M. Druckmiller. Selena G. Dial. Ebele Ibongu. Amina El Gamal. Ahmed Fadlala. Patrick D. Farrell. Joseph Fiocco. Jordan M. Fisher. Francisco Xavier Flores. Tanya R. Foley. Tatiana Nicole Francisco Arias Laracuenta. Kirsten K. Gallo. Kiana Givpour. Pavel Glazunov. Sydney Getz. Lyndon E. Goff. Krishna P. Gohel. Amelia K. Green. Alexander J. Greenspan. Moshe Y. Guggenheim. Stephanie L. Haddad. Taylor Elizabeth Hallowell. Diana B. Hansen. Colin M. Harris. Kelsey Christine Harris. Edward L. Healy IV. Nyla A. Herrera Driehaus. Megan A. Hill. Robert L. Hockenberry, Jr. Bryce A. Hollander, Brianna C. Hulsman, Mabel Allison Hyde, Rachel Icangelo, Maya C. Jackson, Nisha Jane, David N. Jacklich, Patrick Jenkins, Lydia J. Gines, Allison N. Jobs, Kayla Michelle Johnson, Sawyer Johnson, Stephanie Johnson, William L. Joyner III, Daniel Juliao. Mr. Juliao is also receiving a Master of Business Administration from the Johns Hopkins University Carey School of Business. Jacqueline Ann Kapinos, John C. Kapinski, Brooke M. Kasoff, Emma Kaufman, Kyle H. Carrega, Kevin M. Kidwell, Julie Kill, Min-Hei Kim, David Kleshinger, Jamie Andrew Klotzbach, Matthew T. Catroco, Monica Ashok Kulkarni, Alexandra N. Lafree, Austin David LaRoche, Simon C. Lasker, Tyrion Young Lee, Hannah Leonard, Naya C. Lassane, Chong Lee, Miles W. Light, Victoria Slassman Long, Jared James McKenzie, Tristan Madden, Emily Marie Mahoney, Will C. Manahan, Louis Daniel Mari, Nina E. Marks, Eric M. McQueena, Catherine Elizabeth Martin, Lucy B. Martin, Elizabeth M. McClellan, Catherine S. Meader, Justin Meltzer, Mark David Mitri, Stephanie K. Migdale, Brock L. Miller, Veronica Jehan Mina, Daniel Patrick Mooney, Victoria Ashley Morello. Jack Roz Morris. Rachel P. Munoz. Henry F. Murphy. Drew M. Needham. LeBrit Nickerson. Mariah Lucretia Wright Nicosi. Claire O'Donnell. James M. Peabody Harrington. Frank T. Phillips. Cindy R. Polanese. David J. Previs. Haya A. Kasmi. Zyra Jen Carante. Rachel A. Rabinowitz. Michael J. Rada. Benjamin Ryder. Rose A. Richardson. Jordan Ruth Rieger. Scott A. Ritter, Jr. Jeremy B. Ritter Wiseman. Camila A. Rivas. Samin Rizvi. Kelsey Nicole Robinson. Ms. Robinson is also receiving a Master of Social Work from the University of Maryland School of Social Work. Abigail Marie Rogers. Catherine Claire Elizabeth Rowe. Daniel M. Russo. Sebastian Safahi. Michael Francis Sammartino. Olivia Marie Sabrocco. Caroline Claire Scanlon. Ryan Matthew Schubert. Michael A. Scott. Ashley N. Shebani Ogdam. Michelle Leah Seidel. Cole M. Smith. Christine D. Smith Burton. Molly J. Soloway. Ethan Sonnenstrahl. Michael P. Spanos. Madeline B. Spencer. Allison Nicole Spingler. John R. Stansbury. Lauren Stetz. Byron J. Stewart. Joshua Stewart. Rafiat S. Sule. Paige Hope Taylor. Alyssa B. Testo. Sarah K. Thiraway. Drew E. Tilden. Garrett S. Unger. Hannah Vora. Ms. Vora is also receiving a Master's of Public Health from the Johns Hopkins University Bloomberg School of Public Health. Miles J. Vonderheide. Troy T. Walker. Jessica L. Walsh. Aaron C. Weinstock. James K. Welsh. Kristen Elizabeth Wells. Caitlin B. Wetzelberger. Stephen J. Weiler. Brandon Kareem Wharton. Kira L. Wheatley. Kelsey B. Williams. Joshua M. Wahlberg. Jung Ho Wan. Edka Y. Wong. Carly Renee Yost. Jonathan K. Yuen. Yun Zhou.
Hello, LLM students. What a strange and wonderful year. I'm sorry we only got to see some of your faces on Zoom. I know that it can't be easy studying in a different country and moving in new professional directions, but you persevered through unprecedented changes, and we are so proud to call you our graduates. You've come to us from just down the street, from all around the country, and even from all over the world, and your presence has enriched our learning spaces. We, your professors, have thoroughly enjoyed your contributions to our academic discourse, and your colleagues have greatly benefited from your involvement. Thank you. Thank you for being engaged, thoughtful, curious, and amazing. We wish you the best as you take the next big steps in your professional development. Congratulations to you, the LLM class of 2021.
Dean Tobin, with the recommendation of the faculty of the Carey School of Law, in recognition of their successful completion of all requirements, I am pleased to accept the 2021 candidates, and I confer upon each of you the degree Master of Laws.
The following students are graduating with the degree of Master of Laws. Kezia Boateng Sapong. Barbara Davitt. Maria Camila Geraldo Neusa. Cheryl F. Gordon. Barty Gore. Cheng Wan Tang. Abraham P. Nukwe. Emmanuel C. Ogboko. Samuela Sharifi. Pushkar M. Singh. Kreshnik Sula. Zhu Wang. Fariden Yusufov.
Congratulations, graduates from the Juris Doctor, Master of Laws, and Master of Science in Law programs of the University of Maryland. My name is Laura McQueenie, and I am a professor of law who has taught administrative law to students in these disciplines. I'm directing my remarks today primarily to my students in the Master of Science in Laws program and to those non-traditional students in the part-time evening program at Maryland. These are the people who have achieved their degree while working 8 to 10 hours a day only to commute to the school in the evening to attend classes. These are the students who are pursuing a second career or who desire to earn a degree to advance in their chosen field. These are the folks who have pursued this degree through personal sacrifice and from the sacrifice of their friends and family. These are hardworking men and women who, through their achievement today, have exhibited grit, determination, endurance, and ambition. It has been my experience that endurance, such as this, is sometimes more important than brains. I am sure that you have all met many fiercely intelligent and creative colleagues at Maryland. These colleagues have the gifts to do well in life. However, as you may already know, most of life presents us with the day-to-day tasks of working, paying our bills, and being a citizen of our chosen community. Being smart does not necessarily get us through the more mundane or harder challenges of life, but endurance, grit, determination, and ambition will. These qualities are particularly admirable in the pursuit of the knowledge of law. As Chief Justice Marshall said in Marbury v. Madison, which is a case that we consider in administrative law, the very essence of civil liberty certainly consists in the right of every individual to claim the protection of the laws whenever he receives an injury. One of the first duties of government is to afford that protection. The government of the United States has been emphatically termed a government of laws and not of men. Your devotion to the study of the government of laws and the right of every individual to claim protection of the laws is honorable. It's the way that you have done it that is particularly admirable. Celebrate your degree. It was not easily achieved. You are already successful in your own right, and congratulations.
Dean Tobin, with the recommendation of the faculty of the Carey School of Law, in recognition of their successful completion of all requirements, I am pleased to accept the 2021 candidates, and I confer upon each of you the degree Master of Science in Law.
The following students are graduating with the degree of Master of Science in Law: Jonathan Baldwin, Tracy E. Barnes, Tonya Golden Beldy, Michael D. Block, Angela Redmond Debro, Heba El-Kasabgi, Bolahan Fotoyinbo, Jill A. Frankenfield, Monique Gaynor, Nevedita Uday Hegdekar, Matthew Johnson, Venetia Johnson, Robin W. Jones, Lauren B. Callens, Thomas A. Leon, Stephen P. Matthews, Jennifer Lynn Meyer, Kristen Elizabeth Miller, Jonathan Nasipak, Christine Becoy, Judy C. Onyebado, Marcos Romero, Larissa Sargienko, Terry Shelton, Shayla Lynn Sherrill, Kimberly Smith, Tawana Spencer, Yvette M. Thompson, Marcia Thorpe Johnson, Raymond G. Ward, Alana Watkins, Robin Tim Weiss, Ross W. Wheelwright, Tony Marie Woods.
Please join me in recognizing Shale Stiller, a partner at DLA Piper and an adjunct professor at Maryland Carey Law, who is receiving an honorary Doctors of Law degree from the Law School and from the University of Maryland, Baltimore, for his distinguished service as a lawyer, scholar, philanthropist, and community leader. Shale has been teaching at the law school for 57 years, teaching courses in tax, commercial and constitutional law, and in nonprofit organizations and federal jurisdiction. We are proud that Shale is part of our community and congratulate him on receiving this honor from UMB and the law school.
Under the authority granted by the State of Maryland to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, and by that board and the Chancellor delegated to me, I confer degrees with all rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Shale Stiller, it is indeed a pleasure to confer upon you the honorary degree, Doctor of Laws.
We are pleased to present the honorary Doctor of Laws degree to Shale D. Stiller. In 1963, the Maryland Law Review published Shale's book review of a biography of Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes. The last paragraph of the review quoted a passage from a lecture Holmes had delivered to Harvard undergraduates in 1886. The law is the calling of thinkers, but to those who believe with me that the least godlike of man's activities is the large survey of causes, I say, and I say no longer with any doubt, that a man may live greatly in the law as well as elsewhere, that there as well as elsewhere his thought may find its unity in an infinite perspective, that there as well as elsewhere he may wreak himself upon life, may drink the bitter cup of heroism, may wear his heart out after the unattainable. Shale has often quoted those lines when he speaks to lawyers and others. In many ways, those lines epitomize Shale's entire career. An attorney at the international law firm DLA Piper LLP, he has actively engaged in the private practice of law for over 60 years. In addition to serving his clients, he has energetically improved the law in many ways. He has inspired generations of law students at the University of Maryland as a beloved adjunct professor for 58 consecutive years, a record at the law school. He has taught 5 different subjects and continues to teach. Shale has tried and won many of the great cases in Maryland, including the Seminole School finance case, and at the request of Governor Hughes, he represented the state in recovering almost every dollar squandered in the Old Court savings and loan scandal in the 1980s. More recently, Shale tried and won a huge judgment against Iran of Hezbollah's terrorist murder of a Maryland naval officer at the Beirut airport. He has also written many law review articles and several books. He has argued many cases in both appellate courts in Maryland. His last 7 were in 2017 to 2020, and he won them all. Shale is only one of 3 lawyers ever designated as a living legend by the Bar Association of Baltimore City. While a full-time lawyer, he obtained a Master of Liberal Arts degree at Hopkins with honors. Shale is known both as a practical joker and as a ferocious devotee of literature, classical music, history, and the theater, all of which he shares with his dear wife of 38 years, Judge Ellen M. Heller. They have 5 sons and 7 grandchildren. For his many contributions to the law, the City of Baltimore and the State of Maryland The University of Maryland Francis King Carey School of Law and the University of Maryland Baltimore are proud to award Shale D. Stiller an honorary Doctor of Laws degree.
Dean Tobin and other distinguished leaders of the University of Maryland. This is, of course, the highest honor I could receive from the University of Maryland Law School. Thank you very much. The honor has great significance to me, not only because the law school has a long tradition of excellence in so many traditional fields of law, and in its clinical programs in environmental law, healthcare law and policy, immigration law, about to expand in a staggering way, all of which have a major positive impact in Baltimore and beyond. Without question, this reflects the superb faculty and its very talented students. This year will be my 59th consecutive year at the law school as an adjunct professor, teaching 5 separate courses over the years. Receiving the award now, the 59th year of teaching, has a special meaning to me. The opportunity to teach at a university enabled me to fulfill my parents' ambition. My parents were children of very poor immigrants from Eastern Europe, their parents arriving around 1904. My parents were very intelligent, but my grandparents had no money for them to go to college. My father had enormous respect for universities. And when, in 1963, I was invited to teach at the University of Maryland Law School, my father, who was then still alive, was so proud. Some of you may wonder how a young kid of 27 years could be offered to begin teaching at the law school in February 1963. Sometimes these things are a sheer matter of luck. In January 1963, the then dean, Bill Cunningham, called to tell me that Bridgewater Arnold had become very sick and would not be able to teach commercial law for the spring semester. Cunningham asked me if I would teach the course. I leaped at the offer, but he specifically said to me, "Shale, you know this is just for 1 term and 1 term only." I am often reminded of the great play in the 1930s by Moss Hart and George Kaufman, The Man Who Came to Dinner. This was a story about a dinner party to which a well-known doctor had been invited. But as most of the guests left by 9 or 9:30, this particular guest, a doctor, didn't leave, and he stayed for the night, for the whole week, and for months after, and the host couldn't get rid of him. That is my story here. Cunningham said 1 term only, and here I am about to begin my 59th year. In conclusion, I have great pride in being a lawyer. There are very few countries in the world today where the rule of law, as we visualize it, is as important to the integrity of our values as it is in the United States. To solve the great problems of our society, we need due process and knowledge. We need to debate fairly and with inclusion of all sides. As Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes once wrote, and this is a word of wisdom to everyone, quote, "Certainty generally is illusion, and repose is not the destiny of man." The law gives us guidance, boundaries, fairness, and equity. And most importantly, it does so against the backdrop of our Constitution and existing laws. It gives us a peaceful chance to make our country better. Today, especially, we need that guidance from institutions such as the University of Maryland Law School. The law school has given me the opportunity to help to inculcate those values into the students. None of this, of course, could have been done without my having a loving, supporting family of 5 children, 7 grandchildren, and my very special devoted wife, who, by the way, once co-taught federal jurisdiction with me for 1 year. I have been blessed with this special honor, Dean Tobin. I thank you very much.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Congratulations, class of 2021. We are so very proud of you. Good luck.
Mazel tov, class of 2021. Congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2021. Felicidades a todos.
Way to go. Congratulations. Terrific. Job well done. Job well done.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Congratulations.
Yay, class of 2021. We're so proud of you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2021. Way to go. You're awesome.
Mazel tov, mabruk, and congratulations. And remember,
do justice.
Oh, and be kind.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. We are so proud of you.
Congratulations, class of 2021. Well done.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Best wishes to the class of 2021. Congratulations.
Way to get it done, class of 21.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you.